The suit looks like aluminium foil, and actually, that makes sense because they are made from an aluminized fabric. Coroner says that these suits are used by some firefighters as well as steel mill workers and volcanologists. Any occupation where you need to be close to intense heat. They reflect a lot of radiant heat, but you still get pretty hot inside. I did feel a bit like a baked potato in there. Another very specialized piece of equipment that Coronasis brought to Turkmenistan was heat probe designed by the engineers who built National Geographic crystal camps. It sort of looked like a sword, Coroner says. It was able to transmit wirelessly back to the crater's edge to a laptop. It could transmit an ambient temperature where I was, as well as it had a long end on it that I could jam into the ground and get a reading of how hot the ground was. Even after a few days of preparing, Kuransis says the idea of actual descent into a door to hell was nerve wracking. I can tell you, when you are standing on the edge of this gigantic crater filled with fire, it is intimidating, he says. Still, the adventurers did descend into the fiery hole. It wasn't dark at all, Francis says, the crater's interior. As a matter of fact, you are surrounded by flames, so everything has this orange hue. Once on the floor of the pit, Francis embarked on the scientific code of the expedition. The most important part of the mission and the whole thrust behind this entire expedition was to take some samples of the soil at the bottom, sand, basically, and see if there are any extremophile bacteria living at the bottom that could give us clue to basically life in these extreme environments. Quran says there are planets that have been discovered outside our solar system that have a very hot methane rich environment kind of similar of what is the crater. So in intense we are looking for alien life right here on earth. It was very volatile place, Kunansis say of the door to hell. To give you example of how volatile, at one point I kneel down on the ground and I am digging in the sand to try and gather some samples from the little below the surface. As I am digging with small hand shovel, fire is coming out of the shovel of the hole that I am digging. I just opened up a new vent as I am digging down there. The soil samples were given to Dr. Stephen Green, the microbiologist on the expedition. Green says that a few kinds of bacteria were discovered in the soil from the crater floor. These extremophile appears to be what Green calls enriched by the door to hell high temperature and low nutrient level among the other things. Along with this discovery of unexpected life in one of the earth's most inhospitable places, the door to hell has an out of this world tinge of it, according to Coronasis.